Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Ragnar Pitla. Today I was looking at what Microsoft has released yesterday about unified admin experiences for finance and operations. Basically, I was looking at this and reading it yesterday and then trying to understand this is not just about life's finance and operations moving to Power Platform. It's a bit more than that. So I thought I will make a presentation and then see what you guys think about, and that's my new video about that. So let's get into the video when we get in here. Basically, what does this mean? They want to move the unified admin and finance operations into the apps. And this is not just moving finance and operations into Power Apps, but it's a bit more than that, and there is a bit more depth into this. So ODOP, what's Microsoft's calling it, so One Dynamics, One Platform. So one of the key things we learned is what Microsoft Dynamics has previously done was we have finance, we have operations, sales, CE, and field service. All of these are working independently at the moment. So we use the same customers, same product, same sales order or communication that happens between CE and F&O are happening, but they're happening in silo in different dataverses, and we use dual write to link them. But what Microsoft wants to do is they want to bring a similar architecture for every application. So if you use Microsoft Finance and Operations and you have a CE, I have experienced this as a solutions architect when I was trying to help our functional consultants on how to support. We implemented D365 Intelligent Order Management, which is a CE Power Apps kind of a canvas application, but it integrates completely with F&O because it needs the inventory and other things. So in this case, I was trying to help someone understand, set this inventory management. I think inventory visibility is the new application that they've launched. So in order to set that up, we have to go into Power Apps. And then slowly I realized this person knows everything about LCS, but he doesn't know anything about the Power Apps. So there was a bridge that I was trying to bridge the gap. But then later I understood what is ODOP is also doing the same thing, and it's coming soon now with the new article coming up. So despite being part of like D365 umbrella, finance operations and CE, they're not in the same place right now. So this has led a gap between integrations. So I was a D365 CE developer / functional consultant before. Then I became an F&O solutions architect now, developing this. So for me, these two platforms have been understanding and easy, or for me it was easy to adapt between the both. But when I looked at people who are in a finance, when they are trying to implement IOM or other CE related functional driven Power Platform apps, it was slightly different. So this gap is being closed by Microsoft. I think that's what their goal is. The few key things that Microsoft speaks about in this, one is one developer, one admin, one user, one insight. And if you actually look back when CE was introduced and F&O was coming into the picture, the CE and F&O have the same kind of a visual layout. So for one user, they're trying to build that as a core piece. But in here, what they're trying to mostly do for one developer is they want to bridge that gap between F&O developers who are in Visual Studio and Power Apps and other developers who are on the Power Platform and other things. So they want to bridge that and bring them both together. I have some examples in between here for us to go. But I created 5 objectives, I think, that I was thinking. I could divide this into 5 categories to explain more in the video. So let's jump into these and then get a bit more idea about this one. The primary goal of one of the Dynamics or one platform is bridge this integration gap. Like we spoke, there is a gap between this one. The expectation from customer partners, ISVs, or other people is to be seamless. So basically they want the seamless integration between F&O and CE, and slowly everything is going to come into Power Apps. And the next level, if you look at the data, we are getting into Microsoft Fabric. So I created a video on that, so you can watch on that as well. But everything is going to come into the one umbrella, where currently we call them Dynamics, but they are all in different places. So F&O is in different place, and CE and other Power App driven apps are in different places. So the second objective is empowering administrators. Like I spoke about what happened with my use case where there was someone, functional consultant slash, he was very much about LCS, they know in and out what to do, but when they have to integrate that LCS F&O environment with inventory visibility or IOM that we developed recently, implemented recently, was there was that gap between how to do that in Power Platform. The other thing is also I learned that every time I was doing this, if I need environment ID, if I need any other specific IDs related to F&O, I have to go to LCS. Then I have to come back to Power Apps for other IDs for solutioning into connecting through either Dataverse or other places that we were doing that. So in order to create key vaults and other things, we're going into two places, so LCS and Power Apps. So the goal here is to make these administrative for both F&O and CE, and at some point they want to integrate everything into one. And the other one I looked at is streamline development. So I kind of have a bit more depth into this one as we go, but they're trying to build this as a platform for developments to have within Power Platform. One of the key things that we're going to speak later in the development is how current F&O development happens and how later they want to do. Currently, you want to have virtual environment and download it onto your developer machine, but this is all done locally. So they want to switch that into the cloud platform environment, and we'll get more in detail there. But they also want to streamline this development for finance operations, CE, basically bring everything into one place. So for all of the things, right? So the other thing to look at here is Power Platform. It's not about like just the data, just security, storage, Power Platform or other things. Everything's kind of integrated and everything's all in one. So that's the reason they have to come up with ODOP here. So hopefully that we can achieve that. The other objective that I was thinking was consistent user experience. In practicality, basically where we are right now, there is no difference between the user experience in terms of F&O will not change or CE will not change. But if you have never looked at CE, and if you start using it, you'll see it's the same kind of architecture or visually user experience or UI compared to F&O. So they're trying to build that all together. And one of the core reasons for this to work, integrate much more unified is having that same Dataverse using for products, customers like we were talking. So those all have to be in one place, but also building this UI to work seamlessly also is to bring F&O into this Power Platform architecture that they're building. The other one is enhanced reporting analytics. This one, I have few insights. I haven't got a chance to test this one, but basically I've done IOM implementation where we read both the data with dual write. But here we are talking more about how virtual entities, all the data is in one place. So we will look into that, and then it will help with enhanced reporting. Same with Microsoft Fabric, bringing all the data into one as well. So I'm looking forward to talk more on that. But in general, basically ODOP in an essence, one Dynamics, one platform, what Microsoft is trying to do is bring these different pieces together to create a more cohesive and efficient ecosystem. So it's basically bringing all of them into like a single app store that if you are in an iPhone, you want to be on one app store, right? So you don't want to be going to Google App Store. Like that's a simple analogy, but they want to bring everything into one ecosystem. It's simplifying the administrative work, enhancing the development, and also delivering a consistent user experience for both CE and F&O apps. So let's see in this video what we can cover, and we can dive deeper into technical aspects of this. So we want to talk more about traditionally how we have thought F&O as an environment. But here, what is happening is instead of looking at it as an environment, but in Power Platform Admin Center, this environment can be more towards looking at it as a container, allowing multiple applications use the same master data like we were speaking, and also harmonize these lifecycle operations for upgrades and other things. So this new approach, like Microsoft's trying to do, bringing finance and operations into apps in the Power Apps is going to help with that, and it's a good step going forward. So that's the first step for them. So one admin as an app. So Power Platform integration is a valuable setup for them. So it basically they want to streamline that into everything into a one place for that. So as we get into the next one, Currently, what happens is we need to link our D365 F&O to the Power Platform environment, so which is a manual task. And this is where I was learning about how it was not. It's not user friendly, I would say. It's more about understanding. So if you're someone who's working in F&O space, you know everything about LCS, and then you never looked at your Power Platform because you have a BI team or other teams. But in order to link, you need to manually link, get the environment ID and other things and manually link. But in the new methodology, what's going to happen is basically you will have this environment and automatically it will link with your CE and other applications as you go. And then the next topic I want to talk is one developer. So dual write virtual entities, business events, basically these are all similar concept. Basically what Microsoft's trying to do here is they want to bring these virtual tables from Microsoft F&O and they want to use them as data entities or other things in the Dataverse, right? So one of the key things that they would be doing is they have created this already. It's already available in F&O. So one of the key things is you can create plugins from your Visual Studio. They also have introduced the new thing called Power Platform Tools for Visual Studio, where they are having these advanced components, right? So they have plugins, workflows, integration endpoints, and other things. So basically, we want to use these plugins based on data entities and expose them as dual write or virtual entities. And the next concept Microsoft has released is about the Power Platform CLI. Basically, the CLI, what they are trying to do here is they want to integrate, give you the ability to create unified packages containing both database solutions and other modules. So what we can do is this Power Platform CLI can do is you can also unify different solutions that you create into a single package and bring them into F&O or use it in one place and other things like that. So once we get into that, let's look at how current F&O works, and then we can talk more about that. So currently in F&O, the biggest challenge that we noticed is everything happens on your development station, right? So your unified station. And then you need to connect with SQL Server reporting, you need to connect with your AOS servers, and then you need to connect with your virtual servers. This setup also runs on Windows Server, and often it requires some of like administrative privileges and other things that you need to provide as on your virtual machine. So this connecting is also sometimes strenuous and a lot of work. So what Microsoft's trying to do with this new development is to address these issues. Microsoft has tried to bring whatever we are doing on the virtual machines onto the cloud. So it kind of reduces the load on your system, on your usage or on personal PCs, and you can bring it into cloud. That also kind of helps you to like share much more easily and much more efficiently with other members of your team. So as one developer, it kind of unifies that for you. So here, when we look at it, what they're trying to do is they're trying to say this will enhance productivity and provide unified development environment like we're speaking. But the main thing I'm also interested in is it has a smoother user experience in Visual Studio. But the other thing is they are not removing it completely. What they are interested in doing is you have the ability to do either within your environment or virtual machines, or you can actually get the SQL and other database elements that are not unique to you and bring them into the cloud environment. So that kind of helps us to move into that cloud-based environment where you don't need to have your own SQL server, your own database. And these are all going to be tied to instances, pre-configured. The key thing here is seamless integration with the Dataverse. So they want to help and unify and make this thing much more easier for you to set up and go in a way, kind of a thing. So thank you so much for watching. There is other aspects as well I didn't cover today. A few other aspects that I was thinking were about like One Insights, where they speak about synapses, link of Dataverse, and other how it is helping with the Dataverse in the back end, how it is useful, how much it saves with the data, how much it saves with even with the response time and query time. I didn't get into all of these, but I will link to this one below where we can get into most of these again. But the key thing here for me to look at was how is the user experience going to be, what they're interested in doing. So let's see where we get to the next one. In the next video, I'll maybe get into more of other aspects of it. Today, I only covered the development. So let's see how it goes. I will do some testing, and I'm hoping that I can get access to this in Power Platform and install the app. And then if I could do that, then I will create a video on how it went for me, and then we can talk on that episode. So thank you so much for watching. Appreciate your help, and then hope this adds some light into the article. I will also link the article below, so please look forward to the next video, or please check the links below and try to follow me on LinkedIn. So thank you so much, guys. Have a good evening or good day. Signing off. Bye.